Have you ever stopped to consider that you are not entirely alone, even when you are by yourself? Inside your gut, specifically within your large intestine, resides a bustling, vibrant community of trillions of microorganisms. This isn't science fiction, it's a biological reality. This complex ecosystem, comprised of bacteria, fungi, viruses, and other microbes, is known as your gut microbiome. For a long time, we thought of bacteria as nothing more than nasty germs, invaders to be eradicated. But we are now beginning to understand that this internal world is absolutely essential for our health. It's like a hidden organ, one that works tirelessly to keep us well, influencing everything from our mood to our immune system. Think of your gut microbiome as a meticulously tended garden. Just as a garden requires the right soil, nutrients, and care to flourish with a variety of plants, your internal ecosystem needs the right conditions to thrive. The diversity and health of this garden have a profound impact on your overall well-being. These tiny residents help you digest food that your body cannot break down on its own, producing vital compounds like vitamins and short-chain fatty acids in the process. They are the gatekeepers of your immune system, teaching it to distinguish between friend and foe, and they even communicate with your brain, influencing your mental state. It's a symbiotic relationship of the highest order. The implications of this inner world are vast, and one of the most exciting areas of current research is its connection to the aging process. Why do some people live to be over 100, remaining vibrant and healthy, while others struggle with chronic diseases much earlier in life? The secrets may not just be in our human genes, but also in the genes of the microbes we host. Scientists are discovering that the composition of our gut microbiome changes as we age, and these changes can either promote healthy aging or contribute to the frailty and inflammation that often accompany our later years. This microbial clock, in many ways, could be as important as our chronological one. In this essay, we will embark on a journey deep into this microbial world. We'll explore the compelling evidence linking a diverse gut microbiome to longevity and uncover which specific types of bacteria seem to be the superstars of healthy aging. More importantly, we will look at practical, evidence-based steps you can take to cultivate your own inner garden. From the foods you eat to the exercise you do, you have more power than you might think to influence this community. The goal is not to turn back the clock, but to ensure that the time we have is lived with as much health and vitality as possible, and our gut bacteria are key allies in this quest. As we journey through life, our bodies naturally undergo a series of changes. Our skin loses some of its elasticity, our hair may turn grey, and our muscles might not be as strong as they once were. These are the visible signs of aging. But deep within our gut, a similar, though invisible, transformation is taking place within our microbiome. When we are young, our gut microbial community is typically robust and resilient, bouncing back quickly from disturbances like a course of antibiotics or a bout of food poisoning. It's a dynamic and diverse ecosystem, well equipped to handle the challenges thrown its way. This resilience is a key feature of a youthful gut. However, as the years advance, this resilience can begin to wane. The composition of the gut microbiome often shifts, and not always for the better. There is typically a decrease in the overall diversity of microbial species. Think of it like a thriving rainforest slowly losing its variety of plants and animals, becoming more vulnerable and less stable. This loss of diversity is a common theme in studies of aging populations. It is often accompanied by an increase in what we call pro-inflammatory bacteria, microbes that can trigger a low-grade chronic state of inflammation throughout the body, a condition now famously dubbed inflammaging. This persistent inflammation is a known driver of many age-related diseases. This shift isn't just a random occurrence, it's influenced by a lifetime of choices and circumstances. Factors such as a long-term diet low in fiber, a more sedentary lifestyle, increased use of medications like antibiotics and proton pump inhibitors, and a natural decline in immune function all contribute to reshaping our inner ecosystem. The gut lining, or epithelium, can also become more permeable with age, a condition often referred to as leaky gut. This allows bacterial components to slip into the bloodstream, further provoking the immune system and fueling that chronic, low-level inflammation that accelerates the aging process and increases our susceptibility to illness. So, the connection becomes clear. The state of our gut microbiome is not merely a bystander in the aging process, but an active participant. A healthy, diverse microbiome can act as a brake on inflammaging, helping to protect us from chronic disease and maintain our physical and cognitive function for longer. Conversely, a depleted and imbalanced microbiome can accelerate our decline. This understanding opens up a fascinating possibility. By nurturing our gut health, we might be able to positively influence how we age, adding not just years to our life, but more importantly, life to our years. It's a powerful new frontier in geriatric medicine. One of the most consistent findings in longevity research is the profound importance of microbial diversity. When scientists have studied the gut microbiomes of the world's oldest and healthiest people, from centenarians in Japan to those in the blue zones of Italy, they have repeatedly found a common thread. These individuals tend to harbor a gut ecosystem that is teeming with a wide variety of different bacterial species. It's this richness and variety that appears to be a secret to their remarkable health and longevity. It is not just about having good bacteria, but about having a broad and balanced team of them working together in harmony. This diversity is crucial because different microbes perform different jobs. Some are experts at breaking down tough plant fibers, while others produce essential vitamins or help regulate our immune cells. A diverse community is like a well-stocked toolbox. It has the right tool for any job that comes along. This makes the entire system more stable and resilient. It can better withstand challenges like illness, stress, or a poor meal, and it's more efficient at extracting nutrients and energy from our food. In contrast, a gut with low diversity is like a monoculture crop, highly vulnerable to being wiped out by a single pest or disease. In several landmark studies, researchers have compared the gut flora of healthy elderly individuals with those who are less healthy or living in long-term care facilities. The results are striking. The healthy, community-dwelling older adults consistently show a microbial profile that is rich and diverse, sometimes even resembling that of a healthy 30-year-old. Those who are frailer or institutionalized, however, display a marked loss of this diversity. Their gut microbiomes are often dominated by a smaller number of less beneficial bacterial species, creating an environment that is less functional and more prone to promoting inflammation. This suggests that maintaining microbial diversity is a key factor in escaping the frailty of old age. Therefore, the goal for healthy aging shouldn't just be about targeting one or two good bugs. Instead, we should aim to cultivate a flourishing internal rainforest. The more varied the species, the more robust the ecosystem. This diversity provides functional redundancy, meaning if one species is lost, another can step in to perform its role. It's this collaborative, complex, and varied symphony of microbes that protects the gut lining, produces beneficial compounds, and keeps chronic inflammation at bay. This is what provides the foundation for a long and, crucially, a healthy life. The evidence strongly suggests that a diverse gut is a long-lived gut. While overall diversity is king, scientific research has begun to identify some of the specific microbial players that are particularly abundant in the guts of the world's healthiest centenarians. These aren't necessarily household names, but they are the unsung heroes working diligently behind the scenes. Among the most celebrated are bacteria from the Ruminococci and Lacnospiraceae families. These are powerhouse fiber fermenters. They take the complex carbohydrates from plants that our own digestive enzymes can't touch and break them down into incredibly beneficial compounds called short-chain fatty acids, such as butyrate, acetate, and propionate. Butyrate, in particular, is worth getting to know. It's the primary fuel source for the cells that line our colon, helping to keep the gut wall strong and intact. This reinforces the gut barrier, preventing toxins and inflammatory molecules from leaking into our bloodstream. A healthy gut barrier is fundamental to controlling inflammation throughout the body. Therefore, having a gut rich in butyrate producers like Faecalibacterium prausnitzii, a member of the Ruminococcaceae family, is strongly associated with reduced inflammation and a healthier aging trajectory. These are the microbes that literally feed our gut lining, keeping it sealed and secure. Another group of bacteria that frequently appears in studies of healthy aging is the Akkermansia genus, specifically the species Akkermansia mucinifila. This fascinating microbe has a unique talent. It lives in the mucus layer that lines our intestines and actually feeds on it. This might sound destructive, but it's actually beneficial. By munching on the old mucus, it encourages the gut cells to produce fresh new mucus, which strengthens the protective barrier. The presence of Akkermansia has been linked to lower rates of obesity, type 2 diabetes, and inflammation, all of which are factors that can shorten a healthy lifespan. It is a key gatekeeper of our metabolic health. Conversely, studies have also identified bacteria that become less common in healthy centenarians or more common in those who are frail. For instance, there's often a decline in the beneficial Bifidobacterium genus, which is very dominant in our youth. At the same time, there can be an overgrowth of what we call pathobionts, microbes that are normally harmless in small numbers but can cause problems if they become too dominant. These might include certain species within the Proteobacteria phylum. The key takeaway is that the microbial signature of longevity seems to involve an abundance of fiber-fermenting, barrier-protecting bacteria and a suppression of pro-inflammatory species. So, if the goal is to cultivate a diverse and resilient gut microbiome full of beneficial bacteria, how do we do it? The single most powerful tool at our disposal is our diet. The food we eat is not just for us, it is also food for the trillions of microbes living inside us. And what these beneficial microbes love most is fiber. Specifically, they thrive on the diverse range of dietary fibers found in plant-based foods. Different types of fiber feed different species of bacteria, so the key is to eat a wide variety of plants to encourage a wide variety of microbes to grow. This is the fundamental principle of nurturing your inner garden. This is precisely why dietary patterns like the Mediterranean diet are so consistently linked to better health and longevity. This way of eating is not a restrictive diet in the modern sense, but a lifestyle rich in vegetables, fruits, legumes like beans and lentils, nuts, seeds, and whole grains. Each of these foods provides a unique blend of fibers, polyphenols, and other nutrients that our gut bacteria adore. Olive oil, another cornerstone of the diet, is packed with polyphenols, which act as antioxidants and also appear to encourage the growth of beneficial bacteria. It's a perfect recipe for a happy gut. To put this into practice, your aim should be to eat the rainbow. Try to include as many different colored plants in your diet each week as you can. Don't just stick to the same 2 or 3 vegetables. Experiment with different leafy greens, bell peppers of all colors, purple cabbage, and bright orange sweet potatoes. Instead of refined white bread or pasta, switch to whole grain versions, quinoa or oats. Snack on a handful of mixed nuts and seeds instead of processed crisps. By increasing the variety of plants you eat, you are directly increasing the diversity of food sources available to your microbial allies, helping them to flourish. At the same time, it's just as important to limit the foods that can harm your gut microbiome. Ultra-processed foods, which are often high in sugar, unhealthy fats, salt, and artificial additives like emulsifiers, can have a negative impact. These foods tend to be very low in fiber and can promote the growth of less desirable, pro-inflammatory bacteria, while starving the beneficial ones. A diet heavy in processed meats and sugary drinks works against your goal of cultivating a diverse microbial garden. The message is simple. Feed your microbes with fiber-rich whole foods, and they will, in turn, help to look after you. Beyond a whole food diet, many people turn to probiotics in the hope of giving their gut health a direct boost. Probiotics are live microorganisms, often referred to as good bacteria, which, when administered in adequate amounts, are intended to confer a health benefit. You'll find them in fermented foods like live yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, and kimchi, as well as in supplement form, typically containing strains of Bifidobacterium and Lactobacillus. The idea is appealingly simple. You are directly seeding your gut with beneficial microbes to improve its composition and function. This can certainly be helpful, particularly for restoring balance after a course of antibiotics. However, the world of probiotics is not as straightforward as it might seem. The effects can be highly individualized. What works wonders for one person might have little to no effect on another. This is because the success of a probiotic supplement depends on the existing landscape of your own unique gut microbiome. For a new bacterium to take hold, it needs to find a suitable niche and be able to compete with the trillions of microbes already living there. For some, the new arrivals are transient visitors that pass through without setting up a permanent home, though they may still provide some temporary benefits during their journey. This is where prebiotics come into the picture, and they are arguably even more important for long-term gut health. Prebiotics are not live bacteria. They are a type of dietary fiber that humans cannot digest, but which serve as the preferred food for our beneficial gut microbes. Think of them as fertilizer for your inner garden. By consuming prebiotics, you are selectively feeding and encouraging the growth of the good bacteria that are already adapted to your system. Excellent sources of prebiotics include foods like garlic, onions, leeks, asparagus, bananas, especially slightly green ones, and Jerusalem artichokes. A diet rich in these foods is a powerful way to support your native microbial populations. So should you take a probiotic supplement? It's a personal choice. While some studies show benefits for specific conditions, the evidence for general health and longevity is still developing. Starting with fermented foods is a great natural way to introduce beneficial microbes into your diet. For supplements, it's wise to remember they are not a magic bullet. They cannot compensate for a poor diet. The most robust strategy is to focus on a prebiotic-rich, high-fiber diet to nourish the bacteria you already have. This provides a more sustainable and effective foundation for a healthy gut than simply hoping a few supplemented species will take up residence. When we think about the benefits of exercise, we usually focus on its effects on our heart, lungs, and muscles. We exercise to build strength, improve cardiovascular fitness, and manage our weight. But a growing body of research is revealing that physical activity has another profound and perhaps surprising benefit. It can positively reshape our gut microbiome. Exercise is not just good for our human cells, it's also good for our microbial residents. This adds another compelling reason to get up and move, especially as we age and want to maintain our physical independence and vitality. Studies have shown that active people tend to have a more diverse gut microbiome compared to their sedentary counterparts. Exercise appears to enrich the gut with beneficial bacterial species, including those that produce the all-important short-chain fatty acid, butyrate. This is incredibly important because butyrate not only fuels our colon cells and strengthens the gut barrier, but also plays a role in muscle function and reducing inflammation system-wide. By boosting these butyrate producers, exercise can help create an anti-inflammatory internal environment, which is crucial for healthy aging and protecting against chronic diseases. The connection appears to be a two-way street. Not only does exercise improve the gut, but a healthy gut may also improve exercise performance. The microbes in our gut can influence energy metabolism, inflammation, and oxidative stress, all of which are critical factors in physical performance and recovery. Some researchers are even exploring whether specific microbial profiles could give athletes an edge. For the rest of us, this means that by improving our gut health through diet, we might find we have more energy for physical activity, creating a positive feedback loop that benefits both our muscles and our microbes. You don't need to become a marathon runner to reap these rewards. The key is consistent, moderate activity. Activities like brisk walking, cycling, swimming, or even dancing can all have a positive impact. The goal is to make movement a regular part of your life. This combination of a fiber-rich diet and regular exercise creates a powerful synergy. The diet provides the fuel for the beneficial microbes, and the exercise helps them to thrive and produce the compounds that keep our bodies strong and resilient. It's a holistic approach to health where every positive action reinforces another, helping us build a body and a microbiome fit for a long and active life. We currently rely on general advice for improving gut health. Eat more fiber, consume a variety of plants, exercise regularly. This is excellent evidence-based guidance that works well for most people. However, we are standing on the brink of a new era in medicine, one where this advice could become incredibly personalized. The sheer complexity of the gut microbiome, with its trillions of organisms and millions of genes, makes it a perfect challenge for modern technology, particularly artificial intelligence. AI has the potential to unravel these complexities in a way that the human mind simply cannot. Imagine a future where, instead of general dietary recommendations, you receive advice that is precisely tailored to your unique microbial community. This process might involve providing a small stool sample, from which your entire gut microbiome is genetically sequenced. This vast amount of data, detailing which bacteria you have and in what proportions, would then be fed into a sophisticated AI algorithm. The AI could cross-reference your microbial profile with huge databases from scientific studies, which link specific bacteria to different health outcomes and responses to foods. It could analyze patterns that are far too subtle for a human to detect. Based on this deep analysis, the AI could generate a highly personalized report. It might tell you, for example, that your gut is low in a specific butyrate-producing species and recommend that you increase your intake of oats and lentils. As data shows, these foods are particularly effective at boosting that microbe. It could predict how your blood sugar will respond to a particular meal based on your gut bacteria and suggest simple swaps to improve it. This technology could also help us understand why probiotics work for some and not for others, by predicting which specific probiotic strains are most likely to thrive in your personal gut environment. This is not a distant science fiction fantasy. The foundations for this technology are already being built. Companies and research institutions are actively developing these tools, and early versions are already available. While they are still in their infancy and require much more validation, they point towards a future of truly proactive and personalized healthcare. By harnessing the power of AI, we will be able to move beyond one-size-fits-all advice and towards bespoke strategies that empower each of us to cultivate the optimal inner ecosystem for a long, healthy, and vibrant life. The future of gut health is personal. We have traveled deep into the hidden world of our gut, discovering the profound influence our microbial tenants have on the way we age. The science is clear and compelling. A diverse, balanced, and resilient gut microbiome is a common feature among those who live the longest, healthiest lives. This internal garden, rich in fiber-loving bacteria like Ruminococcotia and Akkermansia, works to protect our gut barrier, produce beneficial compounds like butyrate, and quell the chronic inflammation that can otherwise accelerate the aging process. It is a powerful ally in our quest for longevity. The wonderful news is that we are not passive bystanders in this relationship. We are the gardeners. Through simple, practical, and enjoyable daily choices, we can actively cultivate a healthier microbiome. Embracing a diet rich in a wide variety of plant foods, the colorful spectrum of vegetables, fruits, legumes, and whole grains found in a Mediterranean-style diet provides the essential fiber and polyphenols our microbial friends need to thrive. Limiting ultra-processed foods, which can starve our beneficial microbes and feed the less desirable ones, is just as crucial for maintaining a healthy balance in our internal ecosystem. Furthermore, we've seen that nurturing our gut goes beyond the plate. Regular physical activity, from a brisk walk to a dance class, has been shown to boost microbial diversity and promote the growth of anti-inflammatory bacteria. While probiotics from fermented foods or supplements can be helpful allies for some, the most robust strategy is to consistently feed your native microbes with prebiotic-rich foods. This holistic approach, combining diet, exercise, and mindful choices, creates a powerful synergy that supports both our physical health and the health of the trillions of organisms within us. However, it is vital to approach this exciting field with a measure of caution and curiosity. The science of the microbiome is still a young and rapidly evolving frontier. While the broad principles are well established, many of the finer details are still being uncovered, and future technologies like AI promise even greater personalization. For now, the best course of action is to focus on the fundamentals of a healthy lifestyle. Before making any drastic changes to your diet or starting new supplements, it is always wise to have a conversation with your doctor or a registered dietitian. They can help you navigate the information and make the best choices for your individual health journey.